Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Critical and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft Bedrock Edition. We're over here at Spawn, so a little treehouse over there, and we're going to be working kind of off behind this today over in this area. So a couple episodes ago, right over there is where we built the ruined tower. I'm still working on a boat design because I need to get one that's scaled properly for this because I want it to be smaller than the tower, like significantly smaller than the tower, so it doesn't overfill that area at all. So we're not going to be working on that today, but we are going to be working over here because I want to try to fill out this area a little bit. So Austin and I have been talking a lot about this. I think Trent's been over here a little bit talking about it too. What we wanted to do is maybe build some farms over here because as it stands, we've got a little bit of a crop field over here with the carrots and the potatoes and stuff, but it's not really sufficient for like mass production. As you can see here, it's just little 5 by, I'm gonna say like 20 plots, 5 by 15. So it's not a lot, and it's definitely not enough to supply the 3 or 4 people that use it from time to time as we're going through. So we want to build some larger farms, and I was thinking of the best way to do this, and I think what I want to try, and we can always remove this later if it doesn't work out, but I want to give this a shot. I want to build like a little village here, like a normal Minecraft village with some of the normal Minecraft village houses from both from the old versions of the villages and the new versions. I kind of want to do a mix. But in between those, I want to do the little outlined plant areas that they had, where it's like the logs around the box with the water in the middle. I want to do some of those, and then underneath them, underground, I want to build automated farms and have like these huge silos that go down underground. So there'd be like, you know, you'd have the small layer up top, but then you'd have maybe 10 to 20 layers below of actual crops that were growing constantly down underneath that. And I think that would be a pretty cool way to kind of have a huge farm, have a lot of that stuff growing, but not necessarily have it take up a huge amount of space where we might want to build something else later. So I'm going to get some like cobble and wood and just some basic materials and see what we can do with this. But first, we're going to head over to the gold farm because I know I promised you guys I was going to show you how that turned out at the end of last episode, and I didn't have a chance to head over there and record that clip just yet. So let's go ahead and check out what that looks like. Alright, I'm going to mute my sounds here because this is ridiculously loud, but I wanted you guys to hear the clicking before we start, because if you stand in the middle, you can hear like all 8 of these piston hopper clocks going off. So that's super annoying when you're down here, but we're not down here very often. We're usually AFKing up here. So if you missed the last episode, I'm going to turn that all the way down. If you missed the last episode, we completely redid the storage systems for our gold farm here. It was about half the scale before, and it wasn't working properly because the swords were backing up the system with the new changes to mob drops. So we're not going to go over all of this because I did all that last episode, but what I did want to show you guys is I cleaned up the storage area over here a little bit. I added in the enchanting table and stuff off in this corner. We are going to move the villagers at some point over here. I probably won't do that on camera, but those are going to go over there. And I have encased the whole thing in glass as well. So this is looking a lot tidier than it was before. I've also added these little hoppers for these middle chests pointing into these shulker boxes. So these shulker boxes will fill up first. This happens for the flesh and the gold ingots, gold nuggets. The reason for this is we can take these downstairs to trade with these guys or to spawn if Austin and Trent would like to trade with their other villagers because they have a ton as well. And so basically this is just a way to export all of these without having to manually load them into shulker boxes first. So not a whole lot of changes going on here. Not too much. Just wanted to show you guys that because I did say at the end of the last episode that I would show you that before we started our stuff today. Alright, so with that out of the way, I was able to gather a bunch of resources. I've got a bunch of cobblestone, got a bunch of oak wood. There's actually some other junk in here that we don't need, but enough cobblestone to get us through this. And I think what we need to do first is designate where the first one of these little farm things is going to go. And I think we're going to do the first one front and center. The redstone for it may extend into the path a little bit, but I don't think anything else is going to go in this area. So we should be fine. It'll also be pretty close to the sugarcane farm. So if they want to connect the entrance to the sugarcane farm to the rest of these, it'll be pretty close to start off with. Now, we're going to be worrying about the actual redstone for this next episode or in a future episode. For now, I just want to get the buildings, the 2 buildings, and the farm that we're going to build in today. So, these farms, I believe, are... The actual dirt part is, I believe, 5 by 9. So let me break this torch. So I think it would be that far across, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think they're that far across, if I'm not mistaken. So we need to fill all of this in with this. And then, of course, we need to go get some water, which I don't actually have any buckets. Oh my goodness, I found... some, I went out the other night and looked for a bunch of the new 1.17 stuff, and I gathered a bunch of it. Unfortunately, we're using a resource pack, so none of the textures are how they're gonna be once the resource pack is updated, so I'm reluctant to use it. This is wrong. I think these are supposed to be 7, not 9. That looks weird the way that it is. I think it's a little too long. So I'm reluctant to use any of the new blocks because the textures are gonna change, so I'm not gonna be using those for this. But, we can look at the axolotls because they're super cute. Let's go do that while I gather some water because that's what I need anyways. They're adorable. I found a pink one and I found a yellow one, and I want to set up like a little pool somewhere for them. I kind of want to put them in this pond back here. Actually, I could throw them in there. Let's see. I don't think they'll wander off. I think they'll stay in the pond. I need to name them though. Where did I put them? Yeah, here they are. So we've got an adult gold one and an adult cyan one. So we can, I think, rename both of these, and the name should stick if I'm not mistaken. So let's go ahead and name these real quick. We'll take a break from our building real quick. Where do I have an anvil set up? I think the harbor over here, actually need to grab something out here. I think the harbor over here might actually be the closest place that we have an anvil. I need to get some anvils that spawn. I think there's one in here though. Over here somewhere? Yes, there's one. Okay, so gold and cyan. What do we want to name these guys? That is the longest name in the world. Let's name these. We're gonna name the gold one Larold, and we're gonna name the cyan one. I'm so bad with names. Let's go with Emily. Emily and Larold. Fantastic. I actually kind of want to put them in our little top lake up here, but I'm afraid that they're going to end up going off the edge. So I might when I breed some more of these and get some more, I might put some fences or something here that are waterlogged so that things can't like go through, or maybe a little further back so you can't see it from over there. And I might put some up here as well, because I think it'd be kind of cool to have these guys populating the area. I also need to make a glow squid farm, and I'd like to get some glow squids around the area as well. So we need to work on that. But let's throw Emily and Larold in the pond, see how they like it. Are you named? You're not named. I was wrong about how this worked. But there we go. There you are. So these changed, by the way, when I renamed them, because I had a gold... Wait, no, I never got a cyan one. Why are you named Cyan? Yeah, it got rid of... Alright, well, you're Larold and you're Emily. We just gotta remember that. I don't think you'll despawn. I hope you won't. I can always go get more. I hope they don't despawn. Okay, I need water, though. Let's grab this real quick. I don't know why that one's named Cyan. I think that's a bug, because that is definitely not the Cyan one. There actually, I think, is a Cyan one. And that is pink through and through. Okay, so back to work. Let's go ahead and till all of this soil. And let's make sure this looks like a good spot for this. I think so. I think that looks pretty good. I think we'll put another one facing, like, the other direction, maybe right back here, maybe a little path in between, and I might do a little house in the front here and a house back up there, and that's where we'll call it for today, because I don't want to overdo this, because I want to show this to the other guys on the server before I commit to this, so that to see if we all think that this is a good way to populate this area. But for this one, we're going to do just wheat. We're going to keep this one pretty basic. So let's do all of that. And I want to prevent this from getting trampled and stuff, so I might surround it in fences. But I've got to make some fences, and I'm not going to do that on camera. So, let's talk about the houses we want to build real quick. I think I want to do a blacksmith over here in the back, and then maybe one of the small hut buildings up in the front here. You know they've got the ones with like the dirt on the floor? Hello. Goodbye. They've got the ones with like the dirt on the floor inside. I kind of want to do one of those at like an angle here. Not an angle, but like facing this way so that the path when we come off of here kind of goes in front of it. Village paths have very straight paths, and we're not going to be doing that. I'm also trying to spread all the things out a lot more than normal. So let's say that we were to come through like this, maybe, and that's how the path came through here. And we can always have something branch off to this guy. So if we want to have one come over here to wherever we have the entrance to that, we could do that. I think that'd be pretty cool. I'm going to work on this a little bit more off camera. I want to get maybe this building and this farm in before we move on to the blacksmith, just to see how I like the layout. And then I'll bring you guys back in once I've cleaned this all up a bit. Check this out. We've got a lot of work done on this over here. I got a couple of these farms in. That one's all finished up with the wheat over there. We've got a carrot one that I've added over here facing off in this direction. And then I didn't go with the tiniest of the huts. I went with kind of the next size up, and I added a lot of more detailing to this. So I went with some white windows. I've got the stairs kind of curving in. I brought these logs down a little bit because it looked weird with the cobble going straight into it, so I brought those down and I added in a bit of depth here. And then the inside, just a little table with a crafting table off to the side and a little space to walk up here and look around. I also grew some trees because I felt like the area needed a bit more stuff with height, because with all these low farms, it's a little difficult to, get the height that would look good. So I think this looks pretty cool. I think this is looking pretty good. I think next we're going to do the blacksmith. And I think what we're going to do is kind of throw this here. And I'm actually going to invert it from the way that they're normally found. So normally the staircase would be here and the building would kind of go off this way. But we're going to do the staircase here and have it go off in this direction instead, just so that I can have this open for future things. Or actually, no, yeah, that is what we're going to do. I don't know what this is here for. I think I mentioned this earlier. I'm not going to destroy... I mean, I am going to destroy it, but I'm just going to move it over a little bit. I don't know if it's here for a particular reason. I think it's just for growing warped trees, but I just need to shift it over by a couple of blocks so that I can get this in here. And then we will start on our blacksmith. Now, I've built a lot of these little blacksmith buildings. I've done this wrong because I have extra blocks. It's fine. We'll leave that there, actually. I've built a lot of these little blacksmith buildings before. I used to build little villages like this all the time with, like, different block types and more details and stuff before they updated the villages to actually include. I might leave this here. That might be a nice little thing to have. I like to have crafting tables and ender chests and stuff kind of scattered around, just so you can kind of access them when you need them. So I think I'm going to leave this here. Let's make that, and let's make that. Okay. So I know most of the numbers for this off the top of my head, but we're going to be changing a couple of things. First and foremost, normally these stairs stick out by a block, but I'm actually going to be indenting them into the build, so they're going to look like that. And I think we need to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm pretty sure the building is 7 by 11. And I think I want some consistency throughout this, so I think I'm going to do the same thing I did here with the logs and the walls. So let's add these in. Whoops, I didn't mean to place that. Let's add these in, and then we'll make a couple of these full logs and toss these on top. Maybe, if I can aim properly. Then over here, of course, I'm actually going to need to go get more logs, but I'm going to make some planks here for what I can do. And I guess I'll do the same thing with the stairs here as well, so that we can get a bit of depth on these windows. I don't like doing flat walls. It really bothers me to do flat walls like that. And all the villages have those. So I'm trying to break it up a bit just by having some stairs, because I think adding that little indentation This here already looks better, in my opinion, than the normal village types. And I'm going to need to place that with grass, but maybe that'll grow. We'll see. All of this is going to be cobble down here, and then I think other than that, I've just got to extend some walls out. I need to get rid of cobblestone. I've got to extend this wall out here. We've got the little lava pool here that I got to work with. I got to make sure that that's not going to light anything on fire. And then I'll get those kind of basic things in, and then we'll come back in and do like the detailing on the interior. All right, so I've got most of the like framework of this in, and I forgot that the roof is actually, it has to be cobble, not the logs going around. I'm going to try to leave this one here. I know there's lava here, but I'm hoping it won't catch on fire. We'll see how that goes. But it's actually getting nighttime. I should have slept before I did this. But I think this whole wall here is cobble with a couple of furnaces in front of it. And this is the original design for the building, by the way, not the current used design, because I don't know, I like the original look better. And I think what I'm going to do here is that, I don't remember how this is in the actual thing, but I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put a couple of slabs here. And I'm hoping all of that will prevent this thing here from catching on fire. But if it does catch on fire, we'll just replace it with cobble. It's no big deal. I need to sleep because I'm going to get attacked. There's not a lot of torches out here. But trying to avoid using lanterns and stuff. I'm trying to just use torches because that matches like the village aesthetic a little better. But I think for the blacksmith, I am going to throw in 1, maybe 2 lanterns. Just because I think it kind of makes sense with this particular building. Because the blacksmith would obviously have some better resources than the rest of the village. And again, I'm trying not to remove this because I don't know if it's here for a reason, but I don't think it is. I might break that down. Okay, so a couple of other things that I want to do to add some details to this is right here. I want to add some fences on either side of this to give that a bit of a curve. I don't like that this is cobble. I think I'm going to put those there. And then instead of, normally there's 2 of these stacked here, but I'm going to put an anvil. And instead of using fences here, I'm going to use cobblestone walls because I think that holds that roof up better. Normally those would be fences, and I don't think that would support the weight of that aesthetically. And then I need some lava, but I'm going to have to go grab that. So for now, let's just throw a lantern in over the anvil. And inside, what do we want to do in here? I think there's normally like a little, ooh, that's not great. I think there's normally like a little table here. So let's repeat that. Get a pressure plate there. I've been putting signs on these, so I'm going to go ahead and do that here as well. And normally there's a normal chest here, but I've got one of those there, so what I think I'll do is we'll throw in a crafting table here like we did in the other building, and then I'll just put a normal chest next to that ender chest, which I'm going to leave there. And I might actually scoop this over. So I'll put that there. And I'll put that there. That also provides a little bit of light in here, which is nice, but I do want another lantern in here, I think. We'll just do it over the table. That looks nice. And I think that's it. I think that building is done. Of course, as I said, need to put the lava in place so that it's actually a functioning blacksmith. Honestly, I could leave it out. I could do campfires here instead, actually. Hold on. Let me see if I have any campfires real quick. I always try to make this shot through these windows. I get it about half the time, but that time I did not. Let's see if I have any campfires, because I think that would actually look a lot cooler if there was smoke rising up out of there. And actually, I could break the ceiling and have it rising up out of the roof as well. Give me just a second. Let me get some campfires. Okay, I found some campfires, actually, to craft a couple of them. So let's throw these in and see how this looks. And like I said, I think I want to pop the ceiling out so that we can see this rising out of here. So let's get rid of that. Those shouldn't interfere, actually. How does that look? How does that look having that rise out of the roof? That would look really cool if that wasn't there. Let me get rid of that real quick. That looks really cool. I like that a lot. That looks really cool, having that little bit of smoke coming out of there. I think that's perfect amount as well. I don't want to put the hay bales and make it go super high. I think that's the perfect amount to make that look pretty good. And from in here, it looks pretty good as well. Oh no, one of the little things is there. I threw the rest in the chest over there. But that one's going to end up despawning. Okay, so I think that is it. I think what I'm going to do, eventually we'll work on some of this back area and stuff as we potentially expand this village. Again, I'm going to show it to the rest of the guys on the server and see what they think. But for now, I'm going to throw some grass and stuff back here and just kind of brighten this up a little bit. And yeah, I think that is going to do it. I think that we're looking pretty good over here. As I said, we might do some of those farms underneath here. I think these are far enough apart that I should have plenty of space to do a big carrot farm and a big wheat farm there. Excuse me. I think I should have enough space to do both of those, and then I think back here I'll end up doing a potato farm and maybe a beetroot farm. I don't know. Beetroots are kind of useless, but I mean, I guess if we're going to have the others, we should have them, so I can do both of those back over this way somewhere. Hello, pig. You can't have my food. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, that's right. Look away. But yeah, that is going to do it for this episode, I believe. I hope that you guys have enjoyed. Nothing too crazy today, but still a little bit of fun. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.